What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm Shamir, and today is the day we finally get to talk about Coming to America 2, okay? So first, let me start off by saying that Coming to America, the first one, is in my list of top 10 movies, okay? I watch it almost every time it's on. I swear I know that movie like line for line, okay? But this here Coming to America 2, I'm gonna just have to keep it really real with you guys, okay? Now, I just don't know if it's it. I mean, honestly, I'm really keeping it real with you guys. Even though there are some actors in here that I would love to work with one day, I just don't know that this is it. And I'm gonna tell you why. So first up, the groove time. Honestly, you guys, I was in the groove within the first few minutes, okay? Like, it came on, and I honestly just really don't know if it was just the excitement of the fact, like, this is it. Like, after all these years, Coming to America 2 is finally on. Like, I'm watching it. Let's see what it's gonna do. Let's see what it's gonna be about. Like, I think I was, like, really wrapped up in the hype of that. And then there was the fact that, you know, characters from the first movie were like popping up left and right, and you know, it was a lot going on. It was pretty fast, you know, fast music and all that, so it really had me in the groove, okay? But you guys, I have to be honest with you. Within about 10 minutes, I really was thinking to myself, like, you know what? This is gonna be a little different. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be way different than the first one, probably. Like, it's feeling like some stuff is gonna change up, and I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started to kind of slow down my groove a little bit, and you know, then I just kind of was like, okay, let me just sit back and watch. Let me not judge too quick. Let me just sit back and watch, and let's see what it does, okay? And yeah, things started to get a little weird for me. I could see where they were going with some of the cameos and stuff that started happening. But then it really just got to a point that I was like, okay, are there too many cameos? Like, is it just doing too much? Like, are we doing too much here? Another thing that really started throwing me and just throwing me out of the groove, there's like a death scene. I'm not going to say who or anything like that to give anything away, but I really was just kind of staring like, wow, like, this what we doing? Interesting. But anyway, as for the surprises, I was really surprised by the fact that a lot of the old characters that did come back for this film, I just don't feel like they had as big of a role as I would have wanted them to have. You know, all these great people were able to come back, but they weren't really put to use in a way that I thought, you know, would have been helpful to the film. Another thing that I was surprised by was the fact that, you know, when we watched the first Coming to America, Prince Akeem, there was a scene where even Lisa said it in the movie. She was like, okay, you know, there's something about you. It just seems so regal. You know, I was surprised by the fact that I wasn't really getting that throughout this whole movie, okay? It was like, it would pop up here and there, but I think the fact that they tried to just add so much extra comedy and stuff like that to it, it just kind of threw him off. And I don't know if maybe it was just because at this point he's not Prince Akeem anymore, he's the king, and you know, things have changed as he's gotten older, but he just didn't feel as regal, you know, as he did before. So another thing that surprised me was the fact that there really were some funny moments. I mean, you know, it was a lot more comedic than I would have thought it was going to be, but the funny moments were really just that, you know, moments. Few funny moments, okay? Yeah. And another thing that surprised me was just how conflicted I felt with myself while watching the movie, because it's like the acting wasn't bad, and I can't just say that the script was horrible, but it was like I found myself thinking like, this isn't really what I, expected it to be or what I wanted it to be. But then at the same time, I was like, okay, if I had to write this script, like, what would it have been? You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like I kind of felt like, how can I complain about something but not have a solution to what I'm complaining about? So it's kind of like, I just didn't know what I wanted it to be. Like, I really didn't think about it beforehand. I just knew I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be exciting. But, I mean, it takes, like, a lot to actually put together a script that's going to work after all this time. So, I was really conflicted because I'm like, you know, how am I complaining? But I really don't know what I would have made this script be, you know? So, yeah, that was a little surprising for me because I at some points, I just didn't know how to feel. Like, I really just didn't know how to feel at certain moments, okay? And I was like, okay, I don't want to come off as like, you know how sometimes old people just can't really accept the fact that things are changing and, you know, things are more up to date and they just really can't get with it. Like, I didn't want to be the old person, okay? I didn't want to be the one who is just judging the script and couldn't get with the fact that things were brought up to date and, you know, it was more like what would be going on right now in 2021 and not I think it was 88 when it first came out. So, you know, I didn't want to just feel like the old person who was sitting around not keeping up with what's changing. But then at the same time, I was like, I don't know if that's it. Like, it really might just be the movie and the script. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Like, do you feel like it was what you were expecting it to be? Or did you even have a clue what you wanted it to be? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's move on. So on to predictable ending. What I will say is this. There were some predictable moments in the movie, especially when you find out how the fact that he has a son even comes about. Like, when I watched the trailer, I was already thinking to myself, like, this is the only thing I could think of that could have happened for him to actually have a kid that we didn't know about. And it's not like I knew every detail of it, but I definitely knew the date and all of that from the first movie. Like, I knew that was going to be the result of how he ended up with a son that he didn't know about. So that part was predictable for me. I mean, there were a few predictable moments as time went on. You kind of thought like, hey, okay, this might happen. This person might end up with this person and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it wasn't just like overall you could just predict what was going to happen. The movie watch category, I feel like this one, you should definitely probably keep it to like, you know, at least middle school age and up. Just because there were a few little risque moments or jokes that, you know, might have been a little much for the little ones. Unless they're like so little, like they don't really even understand what's going on in the first place. Other than that, I probably say middle school and up. And you guys, now we're on to the popcorn size. I'm gonna give it a medium popcorn. I feel like there were definitely some funny moments in the film. And there were some times where, you know, whether it was some type of flashback or whether it was just the old characters reappearing at certain points during the movie, that actually pretty much saved it for me, okay? Those moments, you know, gave me the feels, and I was like, okay, you know, it's enough for me to be able to get through this one without being upset about it. I couldn't really just give it a small popcorn because, you know, it wasn't like it was just all bad and, oh my gosh, I was just so upset about it or anything like that. But I couldn't give it a large popcorn because I just wasn't thrilled throughout the whole movie. And there were definitely moments where I was like, okay, not really drifting as far as like, you know, it keeping my attention. But I mean, at some points it was close, okay? I was just kind of like, okay. I remember getting to the point, and you know, this is when it's a thing for me, okay? This is when it's a thing. I got to the point to where I hit the button to see how long I had been watching and how long was left, okay? And honestly, I did that around the 1 hour mark, okay? So, you know, if I didn't have moments like that, then, you know, maybe it could have been a larger popcorn or something. But since I had moments like that, I'm definitely giving it a medium popcorn. One thing I will say is I feel like there was a scene that had Michael Blackson in it, and honestly, you guys, I feel like he is so funny that he definitely could have had more lines in this movie. And you know, if they had gave him a bigger role, that definitely might have helped it out as well. Overall, what I will say is at the end of this movie and looking at the outtakes and stuff like that, I feel like the real winners are the cast and crew themselves, honestly, when it comes to this one, because it looks like it was just a really fun movie to make. Okay, like I'm a little low-key jealous because of the fact that that set seems like it probably was like a great set to be on, you know what I'm saying? And you know, not all movie sets are like the greatest sets to be on, so it seemed like there was definitely some fun, and they look like they had a great time. And I think honestly it probably was just more of a win for them, and being able to reunite with each other and have a good time with each other again after so many years. And so just for that reason alone, I mean, I like for other people to be happy and enjoy themselves. So for that reason alone, that helps it get a medium popcorn as well. I definitely think you should check it out. See for yourself. I mean, you know, we don't always agree on things, but make sure you come back and comment and let me know if you liked it, if you've seen it, and if you even plan on watching it at all. And I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.